welcome to another episode of the SixFrames Podcast. This is episode 10, and it's don't fucked up because Jamal's not here. Hey, double digits! It's a celebration.
That's a two. Got them two numbers.
Two numbers.
One and
double
zero.
digits.
We only go up from there.
That's right.
Till we get to the 3 digits.
Oh.
So before we start, we have a lot of things to talk about. This is going to be an anime-centric show. So anybody who's listening, we're sorry. I don't know. Anyway, let's introduce ourselves. I am Kevin.
I am Jacob.
Zed, also known as Miles.
This is Harold.
You got Lamp here.
And Alex.
Finally back.
Oh, the final sign has returned. 10 episodes later. And the other one did.
I know, right? Welcome back.
Look, there was a blood moon last Saturday. There was a bunch of werewolves. I had to kill them.
Oh,
Alright, well, we got a lot of things in the topic at hand. So, Jacob, please read them because since we don't have the lovely voice of Jamal, we are doing this our way because there's only dudes and bunch of whatever.
It's a meat lover's pizza.
Okay, so pretty much we got Spider-Man Far From Home trailer.
Woohoo!
We got Dororo.
Alright. Hold on. You're going too ahead. You're going so ahead right now.
Alright, do you want me to read it?
No. You're
Okay.
supposed to say one topic, man.
Introduce the topic to us.
All right, introduce the topic.
Yo,
The
Jamal,
first
we
topic.
lost.
I know, right?
How the fuck?
Okay.
All right, time out. All right, the first topic is Spider-Man trailer,
Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Oh.
So what's your feel?
I saw the part in the trailer where it turns all black, and I'm like,
It turns all black. That's
No, that part annoyed me though, because I was like, well, what about the Venom suit? When's he gonna get the Venom suit?
Oh Lord.
But one thing I did like that they did kind of classic Spider-Man style is they gave him like the glider that he had in the classic Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. And you actually see him gliding. I was like, hey, it actually works. I still liked how Nick Fury showed up.
Oh.
But the question that everybody's asking, which is kind of my question, is it a prequel to or is it after?
It's a prequel. It has to be. What do you got?
So, if what I would have heard from the rumors, apparently, this is supposed to be literally like 8 minutes right after Endgame happens. So, it's supposed to be literally right afterwards. Oh, we saved the world. Okay, let's go to a field trip.
What? Really?
Yeah.
At the end games. Okay.
Here's my reason I don't think that's it. And I think it's before Infinity. He's wearing the same He's wearing the same outfit he's wearing on the bus in the Far From Home trailer. If you look, it's the same shirt, same button up, open up, everything. So he's either like me, who's a poor man who can't afford clothes, or it's literally right before Infinity War.
Well, I'm excited because Spider-Man. All right, we've been getting everything Spider-Man in the last couple of years already. This year, Spider-Man game. What else? Comic books now. They're reforming. They're making new stuff.
And then with Spider-Verse.
Animated movie
Spider-Verse anime of the year for real.
Yes.
So, hey, I'm waiting for this. I don't know. Hopefully, when the movie comes out, he tries to predict. Last time we did the podcast, he says that Spider-Verse is the best movie ever. Spider-Man movie ever. So we gotta find out if his predicting is true.
Better not see no dancing.
I don't know. So,
My favorite highlight has to be Mysterio. Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be really good on this one. Mysterio suit looks funique. And I'm hoping, this is probably just the illusions, but I'm hoping Hydro Man makes an appearance in it too. Because, gotta hit up your boy.
I don't know, because we think it's either the elements or, Hydro Man. But there's like sand. There's a guy with sand. So probably Sandman, but there's also like a fire guy. It's like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, I mean, it could be just him just doing the illusions, making him think, he's the superhero.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we thought that would be. What about you, Jacob?
Okay, so when I saw the trailer, man, I got high expectations for it. I saw Rey Mysterio, man. He's trying to do the 619.
The door is right there. The door is right there.
Yeah, man. Rey Mysterio, man. I love him, bro. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. And also, one more thing. Like, I do think it's going to happen after the Endgame. But people are kind of speculating, like Harold and, you know, some other people are, like, saying it's, like, it's going to happen probably, I don't know, like, probably before Infinity War. Probably, like, I don't know, kind of like setting things up.
Miles said it was going to be before Infinity War. Harold said it would be after.
That's what I believe from what I've seen in the trailer.
Mm.
If I'm 100% wrong, whatever.
Which is
And anyways, good.
Yeah.
I will say my favorite part is when Flash is like, he looks like Thor and Captain America mixed together.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, I like Spider-Man. He looks out for the people. He like calls Parker
Peter
like a punk or something like that.
Yeah.
What about you, Lamp?
It's just, the shit looks good. It looks good. It looks fun. They got the crew again. They got they're... I forgot their names. You got Zendaya. You got
MJ.
the fat kid.
Ned.
You got the bullies. You got
Flash Thompson.
Oh, you gotta name it though.
Yeah, we're naming them.
Yeah.
You got your back.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really like wow me or got me really hyped for anything. I mean, it's another Spider-Man movie, yes, and I can't wait for it. No shit about it. It's just, you know, another Spider-Man movie. We got Tom Holland. He's a great Spider-Man, and I just anticipate to see like what they got coming for us. They say I never know who Mysterio was. I just know he got like some guy with like a fish bowl for a head. Then you got this Lannister looking guy coming out talking about this isn't your fight, kid. And then he has something with I don't know. It looks cool. It looks fun.
It's a comic book movie.
It's a comic book. Yeah, exactly. It looks like how it will pretty much play out. So I'm not really expecting any like twists or like newcomers. I'm just expecting Spider-Man to do his stuff. That's all.
Alright.
I will say this. I know Flash Thompson made fun of it, but I paused the scene where you see Mysterio, and it looks pretty legit close to the classic comic book. I mean, besides the fishbowl, but close enough to the legit Mysterio costume from like the classic Spider-Man. And I was like, oh, okay, they did their homework on this one. It's not like what they did with Vulture. Jetpack and all this.
I guess.
Because he didn't have a jetpack. It was like an actual glider suit.
Going back to Mysterio and him like fighting off the Hydro Man? Is it a Hydro?
Who knows?
Who knows?
It could be Hydro Man. It could be his illusion. We don't know.
Or it's Aquaman.
Huh?
Wrong comic book series.
I believe it for a good crossover.
You know what? I'm not going to even argue with that. That would make a good crossover.
Jason Momoa comes out of nowhere.
Jumps out of a plane. Alex, say something.
You've seen the trailer, right? What do you think of it?
Alright, so Spider-Man trailer. I really enjoyed the first one. I think it was really nice, Even though you said the whole, Vulture didn't have his classic comic book look. I like, he had this whole, like, fancy, high-tech jetpack setup. I think that was a nice, like...
No, I'm
not
that.
Sure. I haven't read a lot of the, like, newer Spider-Man comics. I don't know if he still, like, has a suit like that, or does he still have the old one?
Something similar to that.
I think it was a good design. But for the trailer, though... Mysterio, I never thought I'd see him in the movie, honestly. It's just... I think he's always been kind of one of those villains that really wouldn't make it to the big screen.
Right.
Because I don't think anyone really cared enough for him. Because, it's not Venom, Carnage, Doc Ock, any of those big guys. I think it's going to be good. I'm not keeping too high expectations because last thing I want to do is disappoint myself. Mm-hmm. And especially after watching Enter the Spider-Verse, I'm like, man, Spider-Man. I really love Spider-Man right now. But I had to bring myself to a realistic level.
When you saw Venom?
Venom.
Okay.
Venom.
Let's go back to Miles.
See, that Venom thing threw me off. I forgot I was going to say. No, I got to say about Vulture is, like, I do like the way they updated it. I thought it was cool, but I was still looking for the classic suit. But I like that they kept the green in Homecoming. One thing I thought was kind of weird was they kind of what was the girl he was in love with in Homecoming? What was her name?
MJ.
No. Homecoming.
The earlier
Karen or something.
The Vulture's a daughter.
Yeah.
I forgot her name.
Yeah. But so he goes out with her. Then he goes out with Stacy. That's when he starts really having feelings for MJ after comic book spoiler. Not really. Stacy dies, and that's when he finally goes with MJ.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "Where's Stacy in all this?" I'm like, "Is she still in the Spider-Verse? She's Spider-Gwen? What's going on?" No, but yeah, I was like, "Oh, okay, you're doing the jump. I'm fine with that, as long as you just kind of somewhat stick to the comic books." Because there was a section where he didn't have a date for the prom. And this is when he was starting to get...
It was Liz. Sorry.
Liz, yes. And he was starting to get to know not MJ, Gwen a bit. This was before they really started dating. For the prom, he actually went with MJ, but they didn't have a thing. So
what's your speculation?
I'm kind of like, are they doing that? Or is Stacy going to show up at the end and be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
I think you're reading way too deep in this because it's just a trick. It's just a teaser.
Yeah,
so we don't know.
I agree, but I just can't get over that Mysterio costume. Man.
Okay,
that costume's good.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say this: are y'all excited for this movie or what?
Have I not shut up about it?
Okay, good. All right. So let's go. This man's blocking our topics.
I'm blocking the third.
Yes, can you move your hand? Okay. Look, the next topic, and Jacob, please relax.
Okay,
the next topic.
The next topic
is all anime based. All right, so introduce us the first show.
Okay, the new show is Dororo.
Okay, Jacob, this is your topic.
Give us a synopsis.
And we go low.
Oh God.
Boy.
Okay, so Dororo is pretty is a good opener to the new season. I mean, it starts on Mondays, and I mean, you guys already watched it in the room earlier. Pretty much, it's about like a little boy. He's been given, he's been born, and his father, he wants to sacrifice everything that he has so that he could become like the governor of his country and gain more power and everything in his nation full protection. Also, the demons, they kind of like take away everything that his little boy is born with. So kind of like right now. So yeah, so the little boy, the little baby, he has everything stripped away from him because of the request that the father has made to gain more power into his country. And as it speeds up, he kind of meets a little boy. Later on. Sorry.
Well, you don't have to spoil it. You just got to say it.
Yeah. So, sorry. So he meets a boy. After fighting,
Fighting the spirit.
Yeah, after fighting the spirit, and he kind of gains some stuff back. Later on, he kind of fights demons that kind of attribute, most of his, body parts. That's pretty much the mission that's going on in the story right now. Just fight off the demons, and then you get your skin back, your body parts back.
So in this series, does it really follow the classic story that was created originally, or this is something new that they're creating right now?
Well, I'm not necessarily sure about that. I don't know for sure. I think they're following closely knit to it. I know the manga was unfinished at a certain point, and they had an anime series back then. I don't know. I don't know too much about it, honestly.
All right.
So, question for basic people who've never seen it before. I'm sorry, I'm one.
Mm-hmm.
So, every time is it kind of like the 12 labors of Hercules where he slays something and he gets something back?
Pretty much.
Okay. Because, spoiler, not spoiler, in the first episode, he got his face back. So, that's what I kind of understood.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm wrong, correct me, but that's what I understood. I mean, I like the fight scenes. Fight scenes were great.
Yeah, it's from Studio Mappa. They go in.
Studio Mappa. Well, safe to say we all seen it. So, Harold, what your thoughts on this show?
I think it was pretty interesting. I did like the fight animations with the very first creature that fought off us. I think it was fluid. I think it was pretty good. I want to see more of that along the way.
Lab, what do you think? You watched it, even though you said you weren't going to watch shit.
I mean, like...
Can you not sound depressing?
Let's see. Let's say. Well, first, I want to address something. Who gets pretty much his body stolen by his father's greed, and with him not even knowing who he is or where he's from, he just travels around the world seeking little to nothing. But then it's because everything is taken away from him, even though he can't see or hear or speak. Even he could see, sort of like a vision, like a small spectral vision of like red danger, if you want to say, and he uses that as sort of a guiding point of what he can and should do. Yeah.
So it's like Daredevil.
Alright, moving on. Moving on.
I'm sorry, I had to do it.
Continue.
I guess, if you want to say that. Pretty much, because he like you said, he can't see, so he's pretty much fighting blindly. So, so I guess like what Miles said earlier, like whenever he, kills a demon or I guess a monster of the world, he regains one of his... He regains his body parts. He regains, Christ almighty.
His humanity?
His love. His robot heart. Because, it's from the creator of Astro.
Yeah.
Astro.
It was, wasn't it?
Is that why he looks like a doll?
Well, no. There's
But yeah, he regains like a part of him that was taken away when his father asked for the power. Yeah, the series is good. It looks great. It's not a show for me. I'm not really with the the old type of show, like the one that takes place in the past. Some of them are good. Some of them are, here and there. But if you enjoy a good samurai flick or show,
samurai supernatural,
so it's something like Princess Mononoke. It sort of gives you that kind of feel.
Yeah, kind of.
Not really like a magical sort of feel. More of a like sort of surrealist, weird, environment heavy.
Sort of The Stranger with weird shit.
I'm not sure how to make that comparison. So
well, everybody laughed here.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right, Alex, what about you?
So first episode looks really good. I feel like, while you guys did describe it, it feels like, trying to get your words together was a hard part. And it feels very vague. You guys are saying, oh, he's, he gains back his body parts. You kind of miss the point of the quick story is his dad makes a deal with the devils, 12 of them, because his country is very poverty stricken and, everyone's just dying.
Yeah.
So he tells them for protection of his land and for him to be continue ruling it because he's a very power hungry person. Yeah. They can take whatever they want. So they take literally everything from his firstborn son, his flesh, his eyes, his nose, like literally everything. He's just literally a sack of meat. And I'm gonna leave it at that right there. But I am looking forward to watching the show. I think it's gonna be good. I do like the style, the old time.
Would this be a show for all of you? Question to continue watching. I know Lamp says it's not his type of show, but I know Jacob is like, oh yeah, I love it, even though I messed it up. But for Miles here, who isn't like us in that sense, but what do you think ultimately?
Personally, it's something I want to keep watching, and I'm kind of like you guys. But I like watching everything. And if I don't like it, I don't like it. But I'll still give it a chance. But after episode 1, I'm like, I want to keep watching. I think it's great. Honestly, I want to see what happens next. I want to see what other challenges he has to go through to succeed his goal.
Yeah. So, you, Harold?
I mean, I gotta say the same thing. Well, I'm usually more of a supernatural kind of fan, so I'll watch anything that has to do that kind of thing. And I think the plot they're going with is kind of interesting, especially with the visuals that have playing around in that one scene with the Hall of Demons. Personally, I wanted to see more of it, and hopefully it gets good from there.
Yeah. One thing I think is kind of very off topic, but you know, in Shadow of the Colossus, when the giant statues break, how that is gonna keep happening, I think that's really interesting as well.
That's a really good comparison.
Now you know where you get it from. Now you know where they get it from.
One last thing I want to say, because I feel like it was on everyone's chest when they were watching it. Mm-hmm. Who is the Sasuke looking motherfucker?
I didn't want to say that, but yes. Who is this kid? We ain't came here to see no ninjas. Right? We need to watch some samurais.
I mean, what if that was his ancestor?
That's the wrong timeline.
That's how the Uchiha clan was born in the first place. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
I thought they were born by some white-haired bitch or something.
Alright, next.
Anyway, we all love it. Watch it. Go to Amazon. Enjoy it. You know what does this Jamal says? It's gonna be good. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be great. And the next one. All right, Jacob, take your time. Yeah. Introduce this next show.
Okay, so right here we got Boogiepop and Others.
Ooh, Boogiepop and Others.
Okay, how about you start this off?
I'll start this one because I try to show this to everybody here, but it didn't happen. So, Boogiepop and Other it's a supernatural show. It takes place in modern times. It's about this girl who kind of inherits a spirit, and the spirit protects her area where she lives, and it's pretty much fighting monsters here and there. I think they're fighting a man-eater in the first couple episodes of this arc that's happening, and right now it's very intriguing. It's based off a novel, so the show's kind of paced really slow, so some people might get turned off by that because it's not like action heavy right off the start. It's gonna take some time before you see that. Yes.
Just a quick question: is it like a supernatural thriller, or is it more of a horror?
No, thriller, horror. Yeah, it's like those things combined because it has those elements based on the show. Because if there was an older show, I don't know if it's a continuation or this is a remake. Because a lot of these shows that are coming on that are being made right now are like remakes or reimagines or things like that. But for this show in particular, it's just gonna be another thriller horror genre. So for me, I personally enjoy it. I like shows when they're a little slow and they take their time to develop the characters and whatnot. But what about you, Jake? You watched it?
Yeah, my thoughts about it is, I enjoy it also. I could say for one though, like I love that Madhouse is working on this. For one, because oftentimes their quality can, go
fluctuate.
Up. Yeah. I ain't gonna mention Overlord season 3, but anywho,
damn, throw that shade.
Look, they dropped the ball a little bit.
So okay, but
good thing I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, but Boogiepop is pretty interesting. When I first looked at it, I was like, okay, what's going on? I just see this little, little girl, high school girl. She's like helping out this guy who's crying. This is a minor spoiler, but you will know more about him later on. She kind of helps him out. He's crying, and everybody's looking at him, and they're like, ugh, why are you crying? We're not trying to help you. So pretty much the spirit is kind of helping someone who's lost their way. Also, the spirit is residing inside this girl. She comes out whenever a danger appears, like a man-eater, for instance, like Kevin mentioned earlier, aka a manticore. And they inhabit like bodies of like people that they eat, and they do whatever, and they eat more people just to continue living. and continue to prosper. So that's pretty much my thoughts about it. I'm looking forward to the next episodes because oftentimes when you go into it, it can be somewhat confusing, but it'll lead right back at the end.
Yeah, you got a question?
What did you say the creature was called? Manticore?
A manticore, yeah. That's what we call
Not
it.
a minotaur, but a manticore.
A manticore.
That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Alright. Just asking.
Alex, you watched it?
Yeah, I've seen the first 2 episodes. I've been kind of lazy on catching up, but I've enjoyed it so far. I think it's kind of interesting. I wish maybe it's just me. I feel like it maybe might have more psychological route.
Yeah.
But that could just be, I'm taking probably a bit too much from the first episode, I believe it was, where, he's trying to research the main character, or main male character is trying to, look into the fact of a multiple personality issue. Because as Jacob was saying, this girl has a spirit, that protects the area. So I don't know, I think it's kind of interesting what they're trying to do with it, and the way that they take the approach of she kind of just disappears, no one's around, things are just done for a convenience sake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to catching up to it, because I feel like, as of right now, it is a slower paced show. I do like that, like how things build up, unlike certain other shows that will be spoken about later. I know.
Oh, the next one that's coming out. All right.
The one after.
The one. Okay.
Damn.
There's some beef coming out. Oh damn.
I can save it for then.
I would say it.
But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Whether or not I could recommend it, I need to see a few more episodes.
Yeah, it's a hard show to recommend, because it's not just because it's the slow pace. It's very I don't know. It has this sort of like a feeling type of, when you watch, if you ever watch it, it gives you this vibe of like, because since the show is slow, right, and there's a lot of things that's going on, but it doesn't really explain things, because they're building up everything so it could be all explained soon. And so what happens is that for most people that don't like stuff like that, they might think it's like a chore to watch, like, well, when things gonna happen, type of thing.
Yeah. That was actually what I was gonna ask you. Is it like a ease in, or is it just like, man, I gotta wait till the next episode? No,
it is pretty ease in. It's just the way it's sort of paced. It might throw people off, because it doesn't answer anything right away.
So, an ease in to not confuse them, but keep them interested.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's Boogie. What is it? Boogiepop and Others? I don't know why they call it Boogiepop.
Boogiepop!
Look, listen, I don't know.
Sounds like someone's trying to say a word.
The boogie and the pop and the Boogiepop. Don't worry, he's in jail, guys. He's not coming. So, okay, now for the next one, which is our favorite
anime of this
Our
year.
favorite.
Our favorite.
I don't know about it. Well, he's talking about the other one,
Yeah.
but it's our favorite.
It's the Promised Neverland.
Wow, that's very anticlimactic. Promised Neverland. So, you want to take this one?
I'll try my best. But
try to keep this one spoiler free, though.
I know.
I will. I'll try.
Do you want me to give you the quick rundown then?
Yes.
Go ahead.
No, Alex, go ahead. You do Promise.
Yeah. All right. Quick rundown. Children are being grown as a meat farm to be sold.
No, okay.
Did I nothing?
That's so spoiler.
Well, this
Not really.
Okay, look, it's it kind of takes away the surprise, but yes, that's pretty much what it is.
I could tell you this much.
Little children being
They want that quality meat.
Okay, anyway.
I think Jared's behind it.
Jared.
Subway? Oh, okay. So pretty much it just starts off in like kids in the orphanage. It's set up like orphanage, but they're kind of like decked out in white clothes, and they're having fun. Everybody's just being kids, and they take tests. They need their brain power to be raised up so that they could live out the rest of the days in the house before something else happens. So another thing too, like when I first started reading the manga of this wonderful series, I couldn't stop. I read chapter 1 at 8 o'clock at night. Son, I didn't sleep at all, son. I stayed up until like 4 or something, bro. Just, I need to read more.
So your dad knocking on the door being like, why you still up?
Hey, man, you want to read this manga?
Oh, sure, son. What is it?
The Promised Neverland.
Hey, he's like,
Oh,
what?
that sounds kid-friendly.
Actually, I see your dad saying, what's this man-go you're talking about?
I just want to clarify one thing real quick. I feel like there's a ground rule we haven't set up. How long until we consider a spoiler? Because it's been out for almost a whole month now. It's been 3 weeks, actually.
Yeah, you're right.
So
Yes, true.
the first episode kind of lays out the ground rules of everything. What I said, and what you said as well, but you cut out the part of it being a farm. I'm curious. Like, where do we draw the line as to how long until it's not considered a spoiler anymore?
That's true.
I guess I don't think it's like really the spoiler part that's the problem. It's more or less trying to get people to watch the series, and if they don't really have that reason to watch, I mean, oh crap. I mean, it sort of works both ways. Like, you want the surprise to be there, but at the same time, they want to know like what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah.
So it's so like having the spoiler is a good thing, but also not having the spoiler to give them that surprise and that shock value. Because I don't think I would have watched this show if I knew what was going to happen. I mean, I probably still would have, but I guess it depends on the person and their taste and how they want to be spoiled or not spoiled.
Yeah.
I feel like episode 1 is kind of like the synopsis. So it's a spoiler, not really a spoiler. Because in the episode 1 really defines what it's going to be. Is it going to be like this? Is it going to be like that? What's the task you're trying to do? And I'm going to throw this out there. And I was wrong. I'm glad I was wrong. It felt like The Island, the movie, The Island with Scarlett Johansson in the beginning. I even made jokes about that while watching it. And then as it progressed, I was like, oh, okay. It's kind of, but it's not 100% like that. It's like, I don't know, like...
But that's the
like
thing.
the very beginning, like when it was like the lottery or something, because the kid was picked to go.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, that's kind of like The Island, but it's not what I thought it was about.
Yeah, but there was no lottery. They just knew, like, okay, this person is ready to go and whatever. But there's more to it, and that's the thing about it, is that I seen the manga, he read the manga, and there's a lot more to the show than this couple of the first episodes that are out now. So it goes through different sort of genres, if that makes sense.
Can you elaborate a little more, just a little bit more?
Well, if I do that, it's just I'm gonna spoil
just
the show
quick.
from you. No, I'll tell you later. But overall, what do you guys think of the show? I know we say it's our favorite, but like for those of you who just watched it, so no, you go ahead, Miles, because
I've only seen 2 episodes, but I'm hooked. I really am. I was cracking jokes about it when I first saw it because that's just the way I am. But after I saw the first episode, I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty interesting. Second episode, I'm like, all right, I'm hooked. I gotta watch this when I get home. But honestly, I give it a 9.5. For new series that just started, I'm really hooked. I want to see what happens next.
Full review because they all watched it. Harold, this is your first time watching it too with Zed, and so what do you think of this series?
It wasn't I thought it was gonna be. Literally, to be honest, the worst case scenario I thought it was gonna be was just a prison camp with a bunch of cannibals. That's what I thought it was. And then I saw,
damn, that's dark.
That's dark.
At least I said it was like The Island. That was like PG-13. You went to straight up R, unrated R.
That's what I thought when I heard. Oh, it's this thing with cat. I'm like, what's going over here? And then I see the big plot twist. I'm like, oh, it's one of those.
What the twist?
With the twist.
Yeah.
But no, it got me really hooked on. Now I'm gonna have to watch the anime plus the manga now to find out what the hell's going on.
Oh man. Oh boy, you get hooked. I'll tell you that.
You're gonna be like 2 days no sleep, like Jacob over here.
All right, Lamb.
What is sleep? I've been still reading, man.
All right, Lamb. What do you?
Oh, the series is really good. I actually recommend this series to anyone that wants to see a story progression. It sort of gives you that same feeling that Attack on Titan gives you when it first came out. Sort of that whole mystery and trying to solve or trying to understand the world of what it is. Mm-hmm. Because like after the first episode comes in, like when you watch the first episode and you understand like not everything, but when you see like what's really going on like behind the walls and all that stuff, it gets you wondering like how the world operates and whether or not the quote unquote Promised Neverland is actually like a safe place, or is it gonna be like some kind of
like a front?
Yeah. So like just the first episode gave me so many questions that I couldn't answer that I want to like go in and like watch it, read it, just to figure out what the hell is really going on with not just the farm itself, but like the whole world in general. Because it gave me an Attack on Titan feeling, gave me a Hunger Games feeling. Mm-hmm. So like, does the whole world operate like this? Is it just this portion of the world? Is there like an outside world or something like that? Like, I don't know. I want to read it. I want to watch it to like figure it out. So I honestly really do recommend this show to anyone who's like actually looking into like a new anime for this winter. Winter, right?
Yeah, winter.
Yeah. So if anything, just give that one a try. I'm sure you'll get hooked on.
I will say this. I would rather watch the anime because I went in and saw a little page of the manga. I was like, I want to watch this.
Let's see where it goes.
Let's see how this goes in the anime.
Oh, that's that.
I just wanted the surprise. So that's now. I know he gave you a synopsis, but now tell us how you feel.
Honestly, the show, I didn't know anything about the show. Unlike Jacob,
only Jacob who knows.
I think though that the show definitely took a turn that I didn't expect it. Mm-hmm. When I first watched it, I'm like, oh, okay, an orphanage, they give you like the whole nice and happy. But then, when they show, when they're taking tests, see how smart they are. I'm like, oh, what's happening here? What kind of like, do you have to like do like a pop quiz against some other people, like another orphanage, like take their land? Like what
was this a game of Risk?
Maybe.
Like I'm sitting there thinking, what are these kids? They're gonna be raised for something else.
That's what I thought. I thought they were gonna solve puzzles. They're gonna do some shit.
Unlock like this. They figure out the 7 world mysteries, and then they get a pot of Lucky Charms, and like. But then towards the end of the first episode, you're like, wow. This is not what I expected at all. Personally, I don't want to sound, kind of mean, but like I thought, like to me, this show's very different because it does something a lot of people don't do, and I'd say all the characters, they're children, so they're kind of pushing this boundary that some people might find uncomfortable, and I think it's kind of interesting to see how, what they'll do with the fact that these are children that they're messing with.
Yeah.
And that's why it's a shonen anime series.
And it's very popular.
It's like what you were saying with the kids about taking land. I was like, when I was watching it the first time, I was like, I don't know if Kevin heard me say it. Harold definitely heard me say it. I was like, what is this, like Nazi Germany?
Oh, Lord.
It's like, I was like, dang, man, this is crazy.
I was just thinking about...
But no, it's weird because they're all in an orphanage. They're all trained to be like... They're all trying to be like the smartest of the group and all that stuff. So that's where I was like, this is kind of creepy and weird at the same time. But it's good. Mm-hmm. I do recommend it.
Yeah. I mean, son, I don't know. Jacob told me about it and I saw it, I was like, I don't know. I'll think about it. I waited an extra day and then I watched it. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, they're doing stuff. And then the intro comes out. And it's like, oh, they're gonna solve puzzles again. They're gonna solve puzzles, do some mysteries. Okay, I could vibe with this. And they're all little orphans, and then boom! Whoa! What the fuck is this? What is this?
Where'd that haymaker come from?
What is this?
Yeah, and piggybacking on the fact that they're orphans and they're awaiting adoption, which is like the thing that we all know to be true in this real world. Oh man, woo, that's not the case. Okay, but
Spoiler, not spoiler.
But the thing is, I really love the opening because it does something that not a lot of openings in anime do, which is give away what's going on. They leave you in the dark. They're making you appear that the kids are having fun. There's little bits and symbols for people that have read the manga. And, man, that opening is fire, bro.
This man starts singing it.
Don't you like all the openings in this?
Son, I love, man, this is rare for me. I ain't gonna watch an anime that has a sucky opening, alright?
Really?
Son. But not to get into it, though. This season has produced so much good endings, the openings and endings that I will replay for hours on end. That's rare for me.
So, will you recommend this? Yes.
Yes.
I think we all recommend this.
Is that even a question?
Yeah, he gave it a 9, even though this show hasn't finished yet.
You gave it a 9.5 based on the first 3 episodes?
2 episodes.
Oh, you only seen the first 2, that's right.
I was like, I'm
very
hooked.
high standards to live up to.
Look. I'll give it a full review after I finish watching all the episodes.
Oh yeah,
as of
all
right now,
watched it.
Yeah.
as of right now, I'm hooked.
Like,
This is the first time where, like, after the first episode, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
Usually it takes me like 2 or 3 episodes, and I'm like, okay, now I'm delved in deep and into it. But it's like after episode 1, I was like, I'm into this.
Well, I want to hear your full review there, because only like both my hands, I can count all the animes I've given a score above a 9.
You know what about this anime? I think it gives something to like a lot of the fans that left after Fullmetal Alchemist, the casuals. So I think this is a good show to bring more people into anime again. So who knows?
Yeah.
What they're gonna do?
I mean,
Are they gonna escape? I don't know. We'll continue watching this, and
it also seems that this is going to be a short season. So
it's gonna be 12.
it looks like 12 episodes.
12, and then they do more.
Yeah,
because the manga, it's almost done.
Yeah.
So they're gonna adapt everything. So hold on, how's the adaptation? Is it good?
yeah, they stay true to it.
Stay true.
AI Pictures, the studio that does this, Cloverworks, a special division in there. They're doing top-notch work, man. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Okay, so the next anime. The next anime. You want to introduce this one? Because this is your anime. This is the one that
this is the one I told all of
you
you
want
about.
everybody to read and watch.
So, Rising of the Shield Hero.
Rising of the Shield Hero. So okay, this is yours. So give us this show the best you can.
All right. It's a story about a group of 4 people who get. It's kind of like another world.
And yep, another world.
They go to like a library or they're in the university and they see the book and they're pulled into this
World,
which is kind of like D&D.
Yeah.
They got stats and everything, and every hero is a certain class. So you got the sword, you got the spear, you got the bow, and you got the shield.
Yeah.
Our story focuses on the shield hero. Some stuff goes down. He's kicked out. He's on his own, and he says, screw all y'all. I'm going to do it my way, and I'll make you guys regret getting rid of me.
Well, see, that's how you do it. Yeah. All right. Well, so how do you feel for all of you? I don't know. You didn't watch it.
Door's right there.
Laugh. You didn't watch it. Did you watch it, Harold?
No, I was really iffy about that one.
All right. So Jacob, tell us. Stop laughing because you're messing this up.
I mean, when it first came out, I was just checking it out based on Miles' thoughts and reviews about it. I would say this: when it first premiered, it was like a pre-air. I thought it was gonna be just one short, runtime episode, like 23 minutes. This one came out to be like a full-on hour, almost an hour-long episode.
It was like HBO.
It was great.
Yeah, man. The thing is, I wanted more. Like when I looked at it and paid attention to the environment, like the world building and the character development of the 4 heroes, which I can say for sure that there's one in particular I love the most, which is the shield hero. I kind of flock towards the main characters, but then the other heroes, man, they.
Bunch of assholes.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Thank you for cursing for me, but
Oh Lord.
Yeah, they are stupid and they kind of neglect the duties of the shield hero, which everyone kind of feels like, oh, he's a chore, he's boring. I mean, you'd rather have a sword, you'd rather have a bow, or you'd rather have what else is the
spear?
The spear. You'd rather have weapons that will get you like leveled quickly, gain EXP and all that type of stuff. You don't want a shield.
I play Shield Knight in defense mode.
Oh Lord. Continue.
Yeah, so
That's terrible.
I know it kind of takes the Naruto route at times when it tries to put that neglect or shun, because ever since he does a certain act, which is implied or spread around,
He was framed.
Yeah.
Well, more of the lore, they say every shield hero is the quote-unquote, not exact words, but spawn of Satan, is what they say. That he brings on darkness and stuff like that, so that's why he was neglected from the beginning. That's why in the anime, when he's trying to talk, the king just shuts him up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, yeah.
Well, he didn't know. He thought because he was weak.
And they tried, they kind of did a good job, not a real good job, but they did a good job explaining that in episode 1, the 45-minute special. They did explain, like, they believe that he is the superstition bringer of evil, stuff like that, because he doesn't go along with. Because they're like, well, what does he do? He just defends. Oh, get out of here.
Yeah. And yeah.
Oh, yeah, go you.
So, maybe because of the ever increasing amount of isekai or otherworld shows have been popping up recently. Maybe I'm a bit more harsh on it because I'm like, personally, I really enjoy the slime one.
Yeah.
And I think that one sets a really good standard, and I feel like other shows like that need to start kind of matching to it. But I did enjoy the pre-air. I'm like, okay, we'll see how this goes. It was a nice, lengthy explanation of, within the 45 minutes that they showed. I think one small detail I also kind of noticed, I could be entirely wrong, outside, like, within the 4 main heroes, the 3, like the sword, spear, and bow user, were all video game players.
Yeah.
They all understood that this is, kind of like a video game to them. You have levels, you have stats, you have like, all the fun video game stuff like an RPG. And the main character, the shield hero, does not know what that even means. In the character introduction, when they showed him, he didn't look like the kind of person, he kind of looked like a more, not a super studious, but, he's gonna get through life kind of guy.
He's a normal person.
He was a normal person, no being a filthy, degenerate weeb, no video games.
Yeah, he's just a normal dude who just, somehow he just got transported.
He's a Joe Blow.
Yeah.
And, him, I guess, as you were saying, the shield hero being the outcast, that kind of small detail also, pushed him further into being an outcast. Mm-hmm. And I was like, we don't like you, you don't understand anything, you don't know anything. What's the purpose of you? But I'm not sure. How far should we talk about this?
No, we could say about the girl did, but we not spoil what.
I feel like just say episode 1. Anything past that is a major spoiler.
Okay, I'll stop at episode 1. I enjoyed episode 1. The small things setting the story for everyone. How I guess since we're talking about it, since you guys were saying, he was framed.
Right.
Because essentially, this being a game-like experience, everyone forms a group party. No one really wants to be the shield hero. A female joins him, frames him, for one of the other heroes. But I'll let Miles take over that because he'd be able to give better explanation.
Well, hold on. Before you do, I watched it. And of course, like him, I have to give it a big standard to it because I do like the slime. And it really made that genre of the other world fun. Yeah. Because I feel like most of the time it's either a harem or it's another harem or it's this weird mismatch of harem and action. Yeah. Or they're all harems. They don't even... But,
or reverse harems. But
this one I quite enjoy, but what I didn't like about in the first one is that that arc of him being the outcast. As I've seen many animes, I seen this already, and I kind of was a little bored with that. Oh, nobody likes me. Oh, sad music playing in the background. Oh, somebody. And then I found somebody, and then, oh, betrayal. I was like, I don't give a fuck about this shit. Right? That to me was a little boring for me personally. But that did help, form the character. And then, to me, that's what I kind of fall in love. I fall in love with the character. I was like, oh, okay, at least he's cool. Now he's going to work about it. And then, after that first episode, I went and I read the manga just to see how it goes, and I gotta tell you, it's there, it's there. But I felt like, man, it's gonna take a while for them to develop all that from this first arc.
There's a lot to do because you got she is a raccoon kind of like.
Well, the next character they introduce in the second episode.
And it's kind of sad how she's involved because of the whole situation he's in, because of the false accusation, because and I'm going to say it, that bitch. But it does make sense because I do agree with you. It is kind of like stereotypical starting. Yeah. But as it develops, it explains more of the character. It kind of shows how, even though he's gotten harder, he still accepts a few people into his life. And he still moves forward. Yeah.
What he said.
I guess since you already said the raccoon girl, she was an episode 1 introduction character?
She's towards the end, and she was sold by a slaver. And the sad truth is because nobody wanted to join a party with him. That's the only way he was able to.
No, I understood that whole ordeal, but I thought they introduced her in episode 2 and built her then.
They built her then in episode 2.
I know they built her in episode 2, but I thought the whole introduction of her being bought and I guess building her.
That's more towards episode 2, but in the beginning of episode 1, they kind of foreshadowed her being there.
Well, look, there's a lot of things going on in this.
But remember when the ball came rolling down? Yeah. But that's. But one thing I do like about her character is when she levels up, she gets older. So.
And then if she for episode 2, when she levels this new character, when she levels up, it actually helps him level up because he can't attack, he can't hold weapons, only his shield. Yeah. Thus the name Shield Hero.
And it zaps him.
Hey, Shield Hero.
And anytime he tried picking up a sword one time, and it zapped him, and it did damage to him. Yeah. It hurt him really bad.
All right, well.
So the only thing he can do is block.
So for you, Jacob, do you enjoy the series? So how will you recommend it to people? This is also a question for everybody else who's seen it. I know you two haven't, but we'll ask you a different question.
I would say this: just look into it, man. If you like that type of other world, people being summoned to another world to try to help the world from ending, or just to gain a significant power, I would say just watch it.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Or watch slime.
Yeah, I mean, 1-2, but you're still pretty good.
We'll go with Alex, and then we'll.
I think it's. I want to give it a few more episodes before I could really make a final statement on that, because they kind of just showed recently the most recent episode. How the show's really gonna start going out now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Only thing is, another aspect I like that I think I forgot who mentioned it is that that they party with other people to level up. It's another like RPG element that I also like. But yeah, I want to give it a little bit more time before I make a decision like that.
More RPG freaking shows coming soon.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I know you didn't watch it, but do you have any interest? Yes or no?
Not as much.
All right.
I'm not gonna
Door's right there.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like this, I guess
The genre.
it's most of the genre because, as you guys said, like it doesn't sound like a harem at all.
Yeah.
So obviously that's an easy one up from all the other. What are they called? The isekais
Or
it's
other world shows.
Yeah, it's like already a one up from that. But the thing is, I don't know. It's just like the way you explain like how it builds up or how it decides to build up. It doesn't sound bad, but it really does sound boring.
Well, hold on.
How are you gonna say no to this? Look at that cute little raccoon girl.
Well, this is the thing. There are. I don't want to disappoint you, but there are some harem elements. But it has a more intriguing story. That being said,
I mean, no doubt, I'll still at least give it the first episode a watch to see if it really does, reel me in. But
no, I'd say give the first 3 episodes a watch. I think after the first 3 episodes, you could possibly decide whether or not you want to continue watching it.
Right.
yeah. And Harold, I know you didn't watch it, but after our blabbering, what do you think?
After having an idea of what exactly it is, I'll give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's end it with the man who loves this series.
Mob Psycho.
No, man. No. What's wrong with you? I didn't say introduce.
Damn, Jacob.
I didn't say introduce the topic.
Damn, Jacob want to get out of this show.
Wow.
Now, I really like it. I really like it because it's more of he's kind of new to this. He adapts really quickly.
Yeah.
I kind of like how he explains the economics and also how they show how he's leveling up and how he's actually thinking of which class he wants to upgrade next.
Yeah.
Which is when I play an RPG or I do D&D, I kind of feel like that. Like what you said with the classes or the group up. That's what I kind of felt like with each character. It was kind of like a different party in D&D, fighting the enemy and stuff like that. So I thought it was cool because he gets 2 people to really help him. I'm not going to say the second one is because I'll leave you that for you. But the raccoon girl is the first one he gets, and she's basic, sword and sometimes magic. But it's pretty cool how he adapts to these new situations.
All right. So do you recommend it or?
Yeah, I really recommend it.
Of course you.
I agree with Alex. Watch 3 I say this with every anime. Watch 3 episodes.
I mean,
if you don't like it after that, I won't judge you. I'll be a little harsh on you, but I won't judge you.
That's basic. Everybody watch 3 episodes and then
you can't just watch 1 and say I'm done.
Right.
Magic.
What?
She does a little magic.
She does magic.
She does a little magic.
I don't know,
That
man.
is something the
She
first 3 episodes.
just a little water or whatever.
No, she does a little. I haven't watched episode 2, but I'm pretty far in the manga.
It's probably fire.
But she does do some. Does not a lot. She's very little. Very little.
Okay, because you said a spoiler, son.
That's why I'm like, magic!
Magic!
But I thought it was cool.
You mean magic? You mean the thing that people use?
You mean the card game?
You mean the card game?
But it's cool. It's cool.
Alright, well, that's Rising of the Shield Hero.
Do you believe in magic?
Oh my god.
I'm going to throw this cup in.
Alright, now Jacob
Now
introduces to the next topic.
Oh, you know what this is? Mob Psycho Season 2.
Explain what it is, Jacob.
Damn,
I
my
don't even think it
cycle.
needs explaining.
I don't think it needs explaining. First of all, you never seen the first season of My Cycle.
You're a psycho.
You're a psycho for real.
I ain't seen it.
Well, hold on.
Get out! Get out!
Geek. Hold on. Let's just explain it for those, just in case, if this is the first time they've heard it.
Damn.
It's kind of hard.
Just a quick synopsis.
Though. Because at least anyone, even if you're not like a real anime watcher, like you've seen One Punch Man, so you know what kind of.
Yeah.
Just a quick synopsis. Alex, Kevin.
It's created by the creator of One Punch Man. I forgot the character's name.
That's fine. That's fine.
But it follows a boy who Mom. That's right. Thank you. I was losing train of thought because his name is on the title. It follows a boy named Mob who isn't good at anything besides being a psychic because he was born with these powers. And so for him, and what's great about the show is that he just wants to be a normal person. And so throughout the series, he's trying to become a normal person to try to impress a girl, which is the most normal thing. Yeah. And then throughout his adventures, because there are people trying to exploit him for his powers or try to take him away to use experiments on him, and it just gets weird. And then it becomes hard to explain after that point. So
I guess to explain the 100 part in the name of the show, he's not very in full control of his emotions. So they kind of like are like the real spark to his powers, his Esper powers. That's what they're called, the Espers in the show. You know, psychic users, however you want to classify them.
Yeah, they call it Espers. They call it something. They have like a group in season 1.
Oh no, but that's like the League of Villains.
Yeah, the League of Villains. But basically, it has what Alex says that during that course of his adventures, people try to do things to him, and wherever his emotions feel during that episode is how much power he will get, and then shoot and fight the bad guy with. You know, so. We should talk about season 1 fight, but no, we're talking about season 2. So essentially, season 1 they only had like 13 episodes.
Yeah,
13 episodes. 13 episodes of like pure, just awesomeness.
Yeah, I think because it's definitely one of those shows where, for some animes I'm not very big on the intro, but I do like the very visuals on the new introduction for this show. Intro song. I'm not really feeling the song. I like the one from season 1 better, but I am feeling the whole visuals on it. I'm not feeling
the opening for the new one, but the ending, I like the ending. Yeah. But man, no, so now we have season 2 because we probably removed a little bit, but now we have season 2 and it still cranks up what we left off from season 1, and that this show is crazy. I love this show.
Go ahead. So one thing to say is the creator of this, his name is One.
Yeah, this is the creator of One Punch.
Yeah. So so pretty much his skills aren't up to par compared to like an actual experience and skilled manga artist. But I mean, his story writing is next level, and with Mob Psycho, he really tries his best to draw it the way he can. Besides One Punch Man, which is kind of like scribbles and doodles. But Mob Psycho, man, season 2, like I can't necessarily say I love the opening too much compared to the first season. But the visuals are up there, man. Studio Bones are going all off. Son, they're doing their best to adapt this almost crude sort of drawing, and meshing it into like animation, into like a spectacle.
It's eye candy.
It's literally eye candy.
It's you know how people make fun of anime for being this crazy, like this thing that will like blind you with all the colors and stuff. This is the show. If this show was made in the 90s, there will be people with seizures left and right. Alright?
Don't lick the screens, yo.
But that's also one thing I like about when he's done One Punch Man on Mob Psycho is like he parodies off these things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everyone else always has cooler design. You know, they look different.
Yeah.
Instead, you know, in Mob Psycho, he's a basic looking boy, bowl haircut. His mom kisses him on the forehead goodnight. But everyone else, you know, they say, "Oh, I got cool intentions. I got." Take over the world. I'm gonna be the strongest.
Edgy.
I'm edgy for the edge lord.
But he's like,
sad.
He just, you know, he tries to get fit and get a girl. That's all he wants. He
That's
wants to be normal.
That's right. He all he wants. He wants a girlfriend. That's all he wants. Bless his heart.
He's just looking for some love.
All you need is love.
Well, you relate to him?
Well, I did relate to him in the beginning, but you know, now that I got some things. All right,
Jacob, getting spicy. This is episode 10 right here. Go ahead.
But yeah, like you guys are saying, his goal is to be fit and to have a girl. But the girl that he's really interested in is not really impressed with his psychic powers. So that's why he's like trying to be normal, trying to gain some new, you know, I would say new personalities to him. I don't know how to articulate it though, but his emotions going out of control kind of articulates based on what Alex said about him not being able to handle his emotions, just full out exploding when it hits 100. I would say it's getting close to that point in the new episodes. And we're up to some pretty wild stuff this season.
Wild shenanigans.
Oh yeah,
Wild shenanigans.
Yeah.
Have anyone here have actually read the manga or I guess the online comic?
Well, this is what I wanted to say is that
how well does it follow?
I think it follows very well. I think they only changed some things because visually they have to fix some of the from the web and the manga because it's not conveyed well in the drawings because he did, you know.
Okay, story wise then.
But story wise, because he knows more.
Okay, so yeah, they're doing a good job of adapting it to the anime, but the thing is they switch things around because there are some points in the manga where things seem episodic, where it doesn't really pertain to the story as much. It's just like a chill episode or like something that needs to be done. For instance, we didn't really mention his mentor, which is Reagan. Something
Reagan.
No.
He's my favorite character.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ronald Reagan's your favorite character.
Actually, no. I think his character is very important to talk about though, because he is a big influence on Mob.
Yes.
I guess when you see him in the show, he's kind of like a hack. You know, he runs a spiritual business. You know, he comes to your house, he throws a sticker on your door and says, you know, evil spirits are gone. Mm-hmm. But aside from, you know, him, I guess what we would see as a shady business, you know, he truly does care for Mob and his well-being. Mm-hmm. He acknowledges the fact that he's a powerful, you know, esper, and being the mentor of the Mob, even though he's a general human being, you know, he tries to uphold this figure. You know, he needs to teach his kid how to really, you know, use his powers. You know, give him, you know, the sense of responsibility that it comes with.
Yeah, even though it's still kind of shitty.
Yeah. But he can't be treating my boy Mob like that with like little cents, you know, for the jobs that he does. You know,
here's 1 cent. Good job, kid.
Here's some salt while you're at it.
Here, I just have something pretty.
But I would say that Mob Psycho season 2, man, this
is the thing. Mob Psycho in the manga, in the comics, it's already over.
Yeah.
So in season 2, are they just gonna adapt the whole thing?
That's the thing. I'm not entirely sure they're gonna do that. Maybe they'll probably make it go up to season 3 because there's more crazy things happening. I don't know if it's gonna fit into this season. I don't know. I don't know the episode numbers for this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One last question on my end.
Yeah.
Yes. It's even though I can wait for it, are we gonna see more from the League of Villains this season or no? It's just a yes or no.
I believe so.
Think so?
Yeah.
I think so because of the opening. They have some fighting action.
Yeah. Okay. Change my. We will. We will see some.
We will.
We will see some.
All right.
Because I didn't know because knowing the way the show is, I don't know if they're just kind of like leave them in the dust after the end of season 1 and like move on to something else, or if they were actually gonna be a recurring thing.
Yeah, because just like I explained earlier, they kind of like go for a episodic way, and when the story kicks off, they'll pronounce
change the tone.
Yeah, you'll see it. I mean, animation. You already know season 1 animation is it's crazy. I know they're gonna push even further because in the first 2 episodes of this season, son, is that a white liquid on the floor?
Whoa. Jacob. Damn, son.
Can I move away from him?
Jacob, can you clean up after yourself, please?
You need some bleach to clean that shit.
Are you even house trained?
Grab the Pokemon treats. We need to wipe this thing down. Alright, well, thank you, Jacob, for this elaborate,
very sexual performance.
We didn't see this. This never happened. Well, for you guys, I mean, obviously you guys, I don't know if you guys seen season 2, but I know you guys seen season 1.
Yes.
Lab didn't see anything. Because he's mad. And
I need to finish season 1.
you see season 1?
But I know the gist. I've seen a good portion.
Because I think you've seen some episodes.
Yeah, you got me into it, and then I started watching it after that, and then they put it on Toonami, and I started watching it.
Oh, okay. Alright. But what do you guys, are you excited to watch season 2 when you can?
Yeah.
I expect to see more insane visuals for this season.
And that, what about you?
I mean, I'm gonna watch it.
You
There's
know
no doubt about it. I love One Punch Man. I've seen the first 3 episodes of Mob Psycho like a long time ago when it first came out. I forgot to get back on it, if that's an excuse, but
I don't know, man.
I will watch Mob Psycho. The anime is just bizarre. It's crazy. I love how everything looks. I love how everything feels when you watch it. It just gives you that sort of everything is supposed to be chill, but it's not.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely down to watch it.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember, kids, take acid while watching it. I'm just kidding. You will be on the floor crying.
This is a disclaimer for 6 frames. We don't allow any.
Don't do drugs.
No, seriously,
No
don't.
illegal drugs.
It'll be.
If you do, call me. My number is anyway.
Don't subscribe by the doctor.
Alright, I guess we're all done. Anime.
Anime.
Yeah.
We got it out of us.
What about you, Lamb?
He looked like he did.
Okay.
I really am.
Alright, he's dead.
Lance was waiting towards the end.
I know, right? Alright, it's time for the Quickfire. The never promised Quickfire.
The Quickfire that ain't so quick.
I like the never promised.
It's like a never-ending belt fed.
Never-ending story.
I feel like this is a very Miles thing. This first one here.
Oh, this
Yeah,
one.
you can take
Alright.
care of that.
First topic.
We got John Wick 3.
Yeah.
That was loud.
Alright, we got John Wick 3. What? So what? We got the trailer. Come on.
Explain.
I feel like Jacob being the hype man when this trailer came out. I was like, Jacob, watch it. Say something. Do something hype. Be the hype man for me.
Be the hype man.
But yeah, no, like it picks up right after 2.
Yeah.
It continues, and I feel like it's going the path that my friend told me, where he's got, because the last one, he was excommunicated. He's kicked out.
It's excommunicado.
I'm saying it in layman terms so people understand. I know
Go,
it's
go,
excommunicado.
yeah.
And he's basically kicked out. He's got an hour before this whole thing sets in, so he's got to like run to a safe house, get all his stuff, get out. But he's going to be hunted the entire time. It's going to be like the second part of the second movie, where he's just hunted all the time. Goes left, there's a guy coming after him. Goes right, guy coming after him. So I think it's going to be like that. But I also think it's what my friend said, where he goes after the heads until he's free to be where he just wants peace. Because that's all he ever wanted. In the first movie, he just wanted peace. Second movie, he wanted peace. Third movie, he's going to have to really fight if he wants that peace.
Yep, until they do it again and they kill his dog.
I don't think the dog bites the bullet this time. I think the dog's going to be doing some fighting with him.
Well, I could say the same thing. Like, I'm a big John Wick fan. I love John Wick.
Just another job to do.
I love John Wick. All right.
And, you know.
Me too. You want to say the same thing like Harold and Kevin?
Me too.
Copy paste.
What about you, Harold?
Copy paste.
Guns and more guns.
More guns and more guns. All right.
Son. I'm sorry, but I could tell you, when I saw John Wick 2, we finally got to see what he can do with a pencil. For this one, I want to see him. I saw him shoot somebody with a. He was on a horse. He shot somebody. With,
What?
All right. He's excited because there's a horse, and he shot somebody with a motorcycle and a horse.
So
they took a scene from that one Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he's a spy riding the horse. But there's a scene where these motorcycle guys are coming after him
with samurai swords.
With samurai swords, and he's on a horse, and he's taking them down. So
Yeah,
I'm just like, yo.
all I can say is,
Jacob, calm down.
All I gotta say is this.
Got a mouse cycle all over us.
You know, all I gotta say is this. Thank you, Keanu Reeves, for actually they showed you. There was behind the scenes. They showed you in the second one. He actually did more training with firearms, so he could actually hold them, maneuver them, actually like you would, and it just looks more fluid and more accurate and more realistic than it could ever be. Like the way when it's like, you know, my favorite scene was when he was in that tunnel.
Yeah.
He pulls out that Benelli.
Yeah.
I was freaking out when I saw it with Kevin. I was like, yo, he's loading it like the real thing. It's not that cheap. Like, oh, I load one in. I got 5 more rounds.
Yeah, well, I guess everybody here is excited. But okay, Lamp, you want to say some words? Or you...
I mean, it's John Wick. What else can you say?
Guns and more guns, McGee.
I got some words for you. The words of the man himself. Whoa.
Radical.
I know this can be contradictory, but I really want to see him do more hand-to-hand, more knife play.
Oh, well, we got Halle Berry in this movie.
I mean, we got... Yeah. I love the second one that they showed more what he could do with the gunplay, but I kind of want to see more what he can do physically with his hands.
Well,
okay, now that I have my thoughts together.
Take a breath.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is a quick fire.
I'm sorry.
At least half of it could be cut.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, based on this trailer, that we're gonna get to see what he does against all these people that are out to get him. You know, that's what I'm really looking forward to, just so that he could be free, just like what Miles said earlier. That's what I really want to see happen. Yeah, now we're gonna get John Wick 4, 5, 6, 7. His dog is gonna be killed multiple times. He's gonna find a reason to fight.
Squeeze him dry.
They're gonna squeeze him dry before he becomes a skeleton pharaoh man.
Like the Fast and the Furious.
Oh,
damn.
Well,
look at the Dom.
Okay, back to John Wick.
Anyway, can't wait for this movie, and been excited. Didn't follow my theory where he'd be hiding in the woods, but that's all good. He's fighting people with samurai swords and motorcycles. So I think it's all good. Harold, do you want to say some last words? Might as well.
I'm just excited to see more violence coming from this guy. You know, see what you can do.
Me too.
All right, next one is Pet Sematary. And this one's another Miles one. All right, Miles, this is a quick fire.
Look, I'm sorry. I watched a lot of weird shit when I was a kid.
I think we all do.
You're not the only one.
No, don't tell my parents. They didn't know I was watching this.
No.
Pet Sematary, just a quick little synopsis. This is a remake of a classic Stephen King novel. It's about a family that moves to a new home. The cat dies. The neighbor tells them about this area to bury the cat, and he comes back to life. Some other stuff happens. Some other people come back from the dead, and weird shit happens.
And there you go, Jacob. They're not watching this movie.
No. You know, when I first saw the trailer come up, I was like, Pet Sematary. Are the pets gonna be in shapes? Are they gonna be symmetrical?
Next.
Can we kick him out?
You know, where's Satan? We need her right now. Alex.
We'll see. It's another Stephen King film, whether it's, I guess, a remake or, I think it's gonna be interesting enough to watch, but I feel like it's very, it feels very generic to me. Like, I feel like if you've seen like the Poltergeist, you've seen this movie. Some move into a house, spooky shit happens. They somehow
formulaic, basically. Yeah. Okay, I can see what you mean.
Like I said, I haven't read the book. I haven't seen the original. So
the trailer I saw, isn't that the same guy from Overlord? Isn't that Scott Russell? The guy who's the dad. It looks like Scott Russell.
No, I think somebody else.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. We'll look it up. But I do like how the trailer kind of stuck to the whole feel of like the front yard being the interstate and the semi and all that other stuff. Yeah. I do find it interesting that they showed more about the kids. Like, I don't know, it kind of looked like they were worshiping the burial ground.
Right.
Because the whole synopsis is it's a Native American burial ground and people bury pets or something and they come back, but they're not their pets. They're like possessed with a different spirit.
Yeah. Well, it's not the actor you named.
It's Jason Clarke.
It's Jason Clarke? Okay.
Jason Clarke.
It just looked like him from the trailer.
Lamp, what do you think of this movie? Would you see it?
Probably. It looks pretty interesting. It looks like like you said, Harold, a pretty basic, formulaic. I guess for me, I haven't seen a horror film that revolves around pets yet.
You gonna?
So it'll be a new experience for me, if anything. So I'll look forward to it.
So Harold, your verdict? What?
I think, well, besides it looks formulaic, I'm hoping that's just the case. Maybe that's just a little teaser of what's really about to come. Since they're going to be exploring a lot more about the whole lore of the Indian burial ground, so I'm hoping there's going to be a lot more going on with that.
All right. Well,
a little bit more.
A little bit more. Oh, I like it, and I can't wait to watch it. The animals are going to be dead. So let's have a. No, I like it. I seen the original movie that's adapted, and maybe I don't know. We'll see. It'll be even more scary, I guess. Could be. So, okay, Miles, please end this.
'Cause I don't want to be buried in a pet cemetery.
All right.
Oh my God.
Yes, it is a real song. You can look it up.
That thing corny as heck.
It is. It was.
The point.
It was. Okay.
Can I go home?
Yeah, we'll go home. Wait, hold on. We got two more things. Oh, Three. Okay, and the next one.
We got Shazam.
Oh, you can't say it like that. Come on.
We got Shazam!
There you go.
Shazam!
You watch Young Justice? He's not even there yet?
Nah.
Alright, anyway, that's a different topic. So we got Shazam, the new trailer. I guess it's just a better teaser trailer. Oh.
Yeah.
Where we have more character development. I mean, we still all in agreement that he still looks like he's wearing a muscle suit.
I just don't like that.
And, I don't know. To me, it kind of well, not in the sense that he's wearing a muscle suit, but like the actor who's playing Shazam, the adult form, kind of grew on me as him being Shazam. So I guess I'm a little more interested than I was before to watch it. So can't wait when it comes out for me.
It looks interesting. I want to give it a watch. I'm not gonna lie. I guess in the second trailer, I kind of see more of him. The first one, the first trailer was this guy also feels like kind of a goofier Adam Sandler somehow. I wasn't.
You just blew Lamp's mind.
I wasn't really feeling him in the first trailer, but in the second one, we kind of get more to it, and I'm like, okay, I'm curious to see how he'll play it out. I'm looking forward to it. Lamp?
No, he's just Adam Sandler.
You gotta let me take a picture of that face.
Don't close that mouth, boy.
Gotta close that mouth, boy. Adam Sandler.
But Shazam. I sort of feel the same way you did. He's the whole costume sort of grew on me a little bit. I sort of like the whole plot, like him like being like this older man, with a kid inside, and him acting like a kid while still looking like an adult.
Yeah.
It's the whole concept is starting to grow on me too, even though it's already been done before.
Well, he's the one that started it all, so
I guess. I guess with the second trailer, after I'm actually a little bit, not too much, but a little bit looking forward to the movie.
they're curious.
Yeah, I guess if anything, I'm just more curious now. Like, how they like handle his character as because like you see him fight. I don't know who he's fighting.
I forgot his name. He's like he's a wizard or like a professor, and he's trying to find the source of Shazam's power.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like we're gonna have to like see how he transitions from being this kid in a hero's body to being a full blown hero, because like he can't fuck around like he did in the trailers forever, because eventually that guy is gonna come and try to kick his ass, so he has to do something like either save the world or defend himself. So I'm actually a little bit curious about how his whole character is gonna change when he is confronted with this problem.
You're gonna sit down and be humble.
All right, Lord.
I mean, from the first trailer, I have my ifs and buts about it because it looks really cliched up the ass, to be honest with you. But after looking at the second trailer, it does have some unique promises, especially with the little clips you have with something trying to discover his powers, like what he can do, what he can't do.
Yeah.
So that's some of the things I liked about it. So I'm hoping it'll build up a little more with that.
Yeah, I guess we're all excited.
Okay. Okay. So.
Damn, why are you gonna sound like a doubter in the beginning right now?
Okay.
He's the doubter.
The reason why is because the second trailer looks more promising than the first one, like you guys stated before. But I'm kind of having my iffy feelings about it because we still don't know what's gonna circulate with the plot as of yet. We see him fighting a dude, like a wizard, somewhat, but what more can you add on to it? Is that going to be a final fight, or is he going to stack up against somebody else that we all know, like Adam? I don't know. But I know it's going to come out in April.
Yeah.
We got Captain Marvel, and this is going to be smack dab in the middle between Avengers Endgame. And then we got Spider-Man Far From Home to finish the job. DC, what are you doing?
You know what it is? It's a jump. Stomp.
Alright. What he said with this what'd you say, he's like a wizard or a scientist?
He's like a wizard.
What if it's him fighting the scientist wizard guy, and then cliffhanger ending, Black Adam appears, Suicide Squad number 2 shows up.
No.
No.
You're giving too much credit.
No, I'm just, in serious note, I'm kind of excited to see what they're going to do. Are they going to do like the full Shazam, kind of like comic book way? Or are they they're going to tweak it to be more comedic?
No, it's always been... The thing about Shazam, he's always been a comedic character because he is a kid being basically Superman, right?
Adam Sandler.
Yes,
We're gonna say this out.
But
I can't unsee it.
But it's not Adam Sandler. He's the guy from Chuck.
But he's a kid. He's a kid who's basically becoming Superman. But he has this other thing that he is an orphan kid, who doesn't have his parents. When he transforms to Shazam, he transforms to the adult form, who is his ideal version of his dad. So that's sort of like the sad truth about the Shazam form he takes. And the other is him and his relations with his foster family, which they didn't really put too much emphasis on the trailer, which kind of sucks because they become Shazam too. Not a spoiler, it's in the comic books, but yeah.
So that's all part of the origin story?
So this is his origin story. Mm-hmm. So this is all gonna be his origin story where you're gonna find out. Okay. Yeah.
Is it the New 52 origin story, or is
No,
it...
this is... Well, it takes a little bit of the New 52, but he's not... I don't know. We gotta watch the movie. If he's a total asshole, then he is the New 52. But he's like kind of a dick, but he still cares. Then he's like a mismatch of like New 52 and a little bit of like what we have now.
I could be wrong, but hasn't been since I guess the Justice League movie or the Batman vs Superman, whatever. Hasn't all that been the New 52 universe or no?
Yes, in some points, they adapt heavily on that for its like outline, and then they put things from older parts of stories, and then they combine it with the new stuff.
So for this one, you think they're gonna just mix match then?
Yeah, they're gonna mismatch because that hero, the villain they're fighting, like that's in the New 52. He's the bad guy in the New 52. You don't see Black Adam later on, but later on he has his family, his adopted brothers and sisters. They all become Shazam to help him fight Black Adam.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, well, so I don't know how this is gonna work because they're getting stomped. All right, so Shazam next Quickfire is
Velvet Buzzsaw.
not red velvet cake.
Not red velvet.
Chocolate.
So Velvet. So I said chainsaw. Velvet Buzzsaw. It's a new Netflix movie coming out February 1st, and it takes a artistic approach to horror.
Ooh.
So it's about this sort of unique art gallery, and it focuses, and like the whole plot from what it seems is about this one person's paintings that they decide to put into their exhibit, and for some unknown reason it starts to
Haunt the
it's
other
pretty much,
painting. Like,
yeah, it
come
starts
to life.
it haunts real life. So people are dying, paintings are coming to life, something weird is going on. I guess it's like the mystery of trying to understand what these paintings are, why is it happening, and how is it able to happen. So like I said, it's coming out February 1st, really, really close. It looks really interesting, and I think it will be a good watch.
I put that in my queue when I saw the trailer. All right.
I'm sorry, I gotta make this comparison. It kind of reminded me of that one episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog when they went to the art museum and they were able to jump through the paintings.
You know what? That is very kind of sort of accurate.
But and like serious note, I'm kind of iffy. I just gotta like watch it when I watch it. But it's the first trailer, so it's kind of eh.
I mean, it's already gonna come out soon anyway.
But I do
6
think
days.
I do think it is worth a watch.
7 days? Yeah, one exact week from now.
Yeah.
Well,
You're an artist, Jacob. How do you would you want to see something like this, even though it's a quote unquote horror movie?
how do I interpret this?
I guess
Is that what you're asking me?
Yes.
In an art sense?
Yeah.
I can say this though. I don't know if it looks similar to the Art of Fear game that Lamp was playing. Yeah, I don't know if you...
Layers of Fear.
Layers of Fear, yeah. That kind of game.
Art of Fear. That
Yeah.
sounds like a good game. Somebody write that down. Art of Fear.
I don't know.
That sounds like the concept art book for the game Fear.
Anyway,
good game.
good game.
I can say this. It feels like it's giving away too much in the trailer. Like all trailers do when it comes to horror. Another thing too, I mean, we see Jake Gyllenhaal again.
It's okay, Spider-Man. I got this on Mysterio.
Yeah, Gyllenhaal.
Gillen.
Oh,
Gyllenhaal.
Gyllen.
Yeah.
McMillan. All right, so... all right.
Keep going.
So, yeah, I feel like it's giving... I don't know if I could give this comparison, but it feels like a Night of the Museum sort of twist to a horror. I don't know. Where you kind
I see
of...
what you mean.
Yeah, it's kind of like you approach this painting, and for some reason, if you're not looking, it attacks you, takes your blood, and that's it. You dead.
Hold on, if we watch a horror movie and like the monster goes, I don't know whether to be horrified or laugh like right now.
You just blew my mind like lamp in the last topic with the Adam Sandler bit with that part right there.
Oh Lord.
One thing in the trailer I did like was how it took a quick jab, very noticeable quick jab at society when the lady put her arm in the like the ball thing. She's dead. It's very clear that she died. And then, the next morning, these kids are taking photos of this lady who's bled out on the floor dead. It's like, oh, it's part of the exhibit. We're all over Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're, like, blown up now. And no one's taking the moment to realize, is this an actually, like, real dead person? They just thought it was part of the art exhibit. I like that quick jab that they took.
I know, right? Like, don't they have a sense of smell? Hello.
It's a dead body. And, like, how the kids are, like, stepping on the blood and making the print of the shoe prints on the white floors. They're like, oh, is this art? Look, man. I'm like,
look, it's interactive.
It's interactive art. Hey.
Yeah, like a finger paint.
This doesn't taste good.
It tastes like iron.
So, seeing this trailer, it seems it has a lot of pros out of cons. I say this because I'm a big horror movie fan, and I like to see a lot of good horror movies, but the thing with this, is good because it's very trippy, very surreal when it comes to some of the scenes, especially when the paintings come to life in that sort of way. Yeah. But at the same time, it looks like seeing that approach, like it's gonna happen, and you don't understand why it happens. Yeah. And I feel like they're gonna make up some kind of bullshit excuse to say, "Oh, because Indian burial grounds or fucking devil worshippers or some shit like that."
Whoa.
Well, they don't really delve on.
Well, it wasn't.
They don't, but like I feel like that's the turn that could.
Well,
take
they
from
did
that.
explain it quite a little bit in the trailer, where like they kind of this lady found a painting from a dead guy, and they used it, without and not give him the credit and just give the girl the credit.
I don't know, I'll go first actually.
The one little thing they did say was the color of brown or red they got was actual human blood. So I don't know, blood sacrificial shit. I don't know.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it a trailer as well? The person who painted these passed away.
Yes,
and he was a psychiatric patient.
Yeah, they explained that in the trailer.
So whatever crazy voodoo nonsense he did obviously took an effect on his paintings.
You just reminded me of Child's Play. When Chucky did that
so the painters will be like, "You motherfucking
no, it's gonna be like, talk to me or I'm gonna throw you in the fire. You stupid bitch, I'm gonna kill you.
That's Velvet Buzzsaw, or that was it called? Velvet Chainsaw. And then the last
one, Lance. You can take this one. This is what you want.
This is what you want.
Yep.
The ball's your court.
I have a few words, but I'm sure Lamp will cover it.
Alright, so this news came out pretty recent, not too long ago, probably 2 days ago. Nintendo launched a video about the update procedure of Metroid Prime 4. And I love Metroid Prime trilogy. I love that shit to like the T. And I became a Metroid Prime. I became a Metroid fan because of that. And knowing that a Part 4 was coming when 2007 came around with the Switch and everything, I was more than just hyped because like it's been a while since we had like an actual good Metroid game. Other end was and then Federation 4 was just straight doo doo. And then like we haven't seen like new Metroid games since. And then when they dropped Samus Returns, which was great, and the announcement of Metroid Prime 4, I was just like more hyped than ever. Samus Returns is great, but then like Metroid Prime 4 is like what I'm waiting for the most. So knowing that they decided to scrap the whole entire game that they've been working on, probably like a year and a half or 2 years, if anything, and they like decided to like start over because it wasn't really meeting their expectations, because they knew when they first revealed the trailer for Metroid Prime 4, they knew that it had like really high not even expectation, but like reactions from fans of like old and new, and they knew they had to like make this game the game that we wanted. So like previously they gave it to like different someone else, like a different party to like work on the game. But then like over time they realized, oh crap, like it's going, but it's not going as well as we wanted it to. So they decided, and then Retro apparently came in with like a demo of Metroid Prime 4, and they showed it to them, and Nintendo was like, shit, all right, we'll just wrap the whole thing and just go with. And Retro was the original studio behind the Metroid Prime trilogy, so that's, I mean, not the whole entire team is back on it, but at least the minds of the studio and the artists, they're back in. So that's a good sign, but at the same time, it's sort of like a downside, because not only is the Metroid Prime 4, it's not going to be released this year or next year as we were hoping, because it came out 2017. But we have to wait a lot longer now just for it to release, probably like near the end of the Switch's life cycle. And it's really hard. It's like it hurts a lot, because like I was really ready to play this game. It's been a long time, but we have to accept that not only are they still, like, they came out and said, yo, it's not meeting up to our expectations as a game design, like as a game. But, we wanted to like meet up to your expectation. We want you to be happy. So we decided to like make the hard decision to scrap it and make sure that we give you what you want in the best way possible. And to my surprise, the community of the Metroid series and even more are like, yo, we're fine with that, like we're pretty good with it. Like there's no beef. Like it's really rare for like studios to like actually come out and admit their faults. So like seeing Nintendo actually take that big step of like coming to us and saying, yo, they could have easily like slid that thing under the rug and be like, oh, Metro, we don't know.
Metro who? Metro what?
We'll just wait like 20 years and then we're like, oh, Metro is here. And guys like, oh shit, it's been like what, 20 years? So they could have easily done that, but they decided to like come up and like the video was really like, like it was heavy on the person like behind it, the director, and you could feel it too when he was announcing it, and it just felt really genuine and nice that the people behind the Metroid series actually really do care for the series and want to give us what we want. So good job, Nintendo. I applaud you for that.
What about Other M, the baby?
That move, oh my lord, I can't. It's like a. I'm done. No. Go ahead, Mouse.
I have to ask this question for you, and I hate to ask this question because I know you're going to hate me for it, but I have to ask this for the public audience. Explain it, because when people first think Metro now, they're thinking of like the Metro series.
But he says Metro Prime.
Metroid Prime.
Oh,
Metroid. Not Metro.
Oh,
Metro.
I heard Metro.
Oh, Metroid Prime.
Okay.
It's like it's like it's really old series.
I know. And I played like the first two, so
yeah.
I didn't play the third one, but So I just felt like when you say Metro, you gotta explain it.
It's Metroid.
It's
so
Metroid.
They know what I'm talking about. Metro 4, Jacob.
Yeah, so when I hopped on Twitter and I heard news of Metro PCS, kind of, going through this news and, the video format that we all use, which is MP4.
Yo, if you don't, I swear to God.
This man here.
Do you have something relevant to say?
Yeah, I will say this. Like, I know, like, when I saw the news, everyone, like you said before, they would seem pretty chill with it. I mean, of course it's going to be delayed, and they're going to start from scratch, and the retro team is going to be on there, and also one suggestion that I've noticed around in Twitter is like, while you guys are waiting for this game to be made, wouldn't it be kind of cool if Nintendo decided to put the previous games into the Switch to tide you over?
Look, I understand that, like pretty much remaking a game or like making like a collector's edition, whatever, to like, hold us off. It's an easy idea. I would love it, but if they decide not to do it, it's their decision in the end of the day, honestly. I would love it. Yes, I have it already for the Wii. I'll play it again on the Switch. I don't give a damn. But it's up to them. The ball's in their court. They want to do that. But
play that time attack.
Honestly, at that point, they could just port it to the Switch's online market, which would be easy for them. It's already done. They've already done it for thousands of their games.
Yeah. That would have been like the easiest.
They just lazy.
Just copy.
I wouldn't call it lazy. It's just, I guess.
Oh, they have
because
a grudge.
the thing is, there's a rumor going around saying that there was going to announce the trilogy for the Switch, and it was going to be announced like during the Game Awards, but it wasn't. So I'm guessing because of the whole development of the Prime 4, and they had to like, sort of hold it back, and then I guess they'll release it some other time. That's a rumor only, but if they do, shit, you got another $60 to your ass. But if they don't, I guess we have to wait like 10 years for the next Metroid game.
What do you mean? 45 years.
No, but I like to give kudos to Nintendo for what they did, though. It is something a lot of major studios don't do nowadays, and you can see it within most modern games. When it is rushed, when they are pushed to put it out.
Yeah.
And I think Nintendo really walked up to everyone and said, we're scrapping it, we apologize, but we're going back with retro games. And like you said, they worked on the original trilogy and the Donkey Kong games.
Donkey Kong.
Rare. Those glorious
Not
names.
rare. Retro.
Yeah, retro.
Kudos to them for doing that. I think, it's a very positive thing as well. I'm sure literally everyone, me as well, I would rather have the game played for another 2 years and it'd be a very solid story. I'm satisfied. I'm happy instead of a rushed garbage. I would probably need like a DLC or two to probably explain it.
The baby! Yeah. The baby! I don't want to go Final Fantasy 15 on this.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, God. What was that? What was their thing? What's her thing?
That thing was like,
what was that?
That's different. That's something else.
Good job, Nintendo. I'm looking forward to it. Only thing is, I want to see how much they got done. I want them
I'm
at
curious,
some point to release like snippets of the progress that they had. Because you can't just. I'm pretty sure they spent already like a couple million not a couple million, but like several $1,000s developing it. And for them to just scrap it, I want to see like where they got to and what really made them decide that this isn't the progression we wanted.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too.
Yeah,
I want to see that.
So maybe we'll never see that because they'll just like put it in the shelves. So like, this is what we had, but we're done.
Yeah,
aliens will figure it out when the world gets destroyed.
Yeah, more or less like, I mean, if anything, Retro Studios might just like reuse some of the assets they have and just probably put in the game, just like save some time. So who knows?
They're probably like placeholder assets.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, can I just end it? Let's end it.
Hey!
Episode 10. Thank you all for listening. Double digits. We did it. For whatever reason, I thought this was going to be a shit show, but it was not a shit. Well, it is a shit show. It is a shit show. We need Jamal. I'm sorry. We failed you.
We need the sophisticated voice of Jamal.
And, but I think, but we did good.
We did good.
Boy, we did good.
We did it.
So anyway, this is episode 10. Thank you.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite Monster Hunter here, Zed. If you like what you heard and you have any questions, email us at SixFramesPodcast@gmail.com. Again, that is SixFramesPodcast@gmail.com. If you also like what you heard and you want to hear some of our old stuff, follow us at YouTube at SixFrames Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. Also, you can follow us at Podbean. Another website you can follow us at is Apple Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and rate. We need those ratings. And remember, good hunting.